Get some music going. Let's get the vibes going. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to those of you who are going to be watching in the future. Welcome to those of you who are coming on in. For those of you who have never been here, we're doing collective tarot tea tonight, and we're going to be starting with our affirmator messages. Hello, hello, and welcome in, welcome in. We'll be starting with our affirmator messages, and then we'll go to our love oracle, and then we'll be moving on to our tarot messages for the night. I'm usually not on here. I'm usually on IG, but I'm currently banned from IG, so we're on YouTube. Welcome in, y'all. Welcome in. Welcome in. We got a few decks. We have many decks to make it through. We have many decks. Why am I banned? Because I made a comment that was deemed as inciting violence. Basically because I said that if someone stole my mail, I would shoot them in the big toe. That's why they said I was inciting violence. I thought it was funny. I mean, I said I would shoot them in the big toe. It's not like I said something crazy. Like, you're gonna live if I shoot you in the big fucking toe. Like, I literally said I would shoot you in the big fucking toe. Like, I don't know how that's inciting violence or whatever would have you, but it is what it is. Good evening, good evening. Welcome in, y'all. All right, so it is what it is. I'm going to be uploading this. I don't usually upload-ish, but I'm going to be uploading this. I'm going to leave it up on here so that y'all can rewatch, watch the playback, all that good-ish, so that people can watch the playback. But we're going to start with these messages. We're going to work through the messages. I decided that I am not going to do individual signs. We're going to do the elements instead, because individual sign messages, we'll be here for like 3 hours. Be here for like 3 hours. I ain't trying to keep everybody that long tonight. So we're going to start with our messages. Hey, I just saw 444 on the clock. 444. Angel number 444. We're going to work through our affirmators. We're going to work through our love oracles. And then we'll get to some tarot messages for the night. We're going to do elements. So we'll do water signs, fire signs, air signs, and then earth signs. I'm going to be reading the front and the back of the deck, so we'll have multiple messages coming in. Y'all know I like to look at the back of the deck because that's where all the juicy-ish is at. That's where all the under the surface stuff is going on. So we'll look at both the front of the deck and the back of the deck. Shit. So it's falling. It's falling. It's falling, y'all. It's falling. Alright. Let's see what our affirmator message is. On the surface, we've got perseverance. I heard that. Beneath the surface, inspiration. Alright. Now, perseverance. It seems you're on a massive journey right now, and this card has arrived to remind you that you will reach the other side. The mountain that you're climbing is huge and formidable, but so is your ability to climb it. You don't need to enjoy it, you just need to tackle it. Complain if it makes the job easier, blow off some steam. You think mountain climbers get to the top of Everest on inspirational quotes? No way. They're grunting and crying and cursing like frickin' pirates. That just doesn't sell a lot of posters. I know that's right. Perseverance. Perseverance. You don't have to like it. You just got to get through it. That's like I always say, feel the fear but do it anyway. Like, yes. Keep it going. One step in front of the other. Keep it going. Before you know it, you'll come to the realization that you've come pretty freaking far. But you have to allow yourself to step into that. We have inspiration at the bottom of the deck. There is a voice of inspiration within me. Right now, it's only a whisper, but the more that I listen, the louder it will get. Soon, it'll be a flawless speech voiced by James Earl Jones through a megaphone with lots of applause. I know that's right. Inspiration. Listen, if you're not in a space where you feel inspired, allow yourself to open up yourself to the voices of your spirit squad. Where is your spirit squad trying to bring you? What are those signs trying to bring you? For real, because that's what this feels like to me. This feels like allowing yourself to not just be inspired, but actually listen to your intuition. Allow yourself to be guided. Allow that to develop. Trusting yourself, trusting your intuition. The more that you do so, the louder it gets. For real. And then it'll get to a point where it's like, it's undeniable. Like this, your intuition, it'll be undeniable. The messages will be undeniable. But you have to allow yourself to trust in yourself. Allow yourself to listen. Allow yourself to take the message for what it is. Alrighty, y'all. We're going to move on to our love and relationship affirmators. Let's see what we get over here. What's going on? What's coming forward? Shit. There's a lot of things popping off, apparently. Let's see what we got with these love and relationships. On the surface, we have rest. Hey, get some rest beneath the surface. Teamwork. Hey, teamwork make the dream work. Teamwork make the dream work. All right. On the surface, we have rest. I take a step away from my stress. And then a deep breath. And then a crankiness killing nap. When I need the rest I need, when I get the rest that I need, I instantly become a better version of myself. Yes. Able to navigate complex relationships in a single bound. When I don't, I'm not. Which means I shouldn't, but I try to, and then we can't, and it doesn't, but I did, so it wasn't. Good night. Yes, getting some motherfucking rest, getting some sleep, actually allowing yourself to get the rest that you need, for real. And I also feel like holding boundaries, like having boundaries with people, like learning how to say no, learning how to be like, no, I'm good, I don't want to do that. Because I also feel like a lot of us, especially when it comes to a lot of these codependency issues coming up and being brought forth, a lot of us at some point, we tend to overextend ourselves when it comes to people, and it gets difficult to say no and set boundaries. But it's like, no, you got to set those boundaries. You have to allow yourself to rest. You have to allow yourself to, like, give yourself some me time. Like, practice self-care. It's an act of self-love. Like, it truly is. And besides, like, when you're actually well rested, like, you're not cranky and you're not like ready to spaz on people. Hey, teamwork make the dream work. I'm determined to be a good teammate in all of my relationships. If we disagree, I'll resist the urge to place blame and look for a way to solve the problem together. Yes, be proactive. When we're a team, everything's a game. And when we're on the same side, nobody can lose. Yes. Coming to the realization in relationships, like, ooh, this is such a, like, oh, this is such a deep one. Ooh, this is such a deep one. Especially because a lot of people, especially when they're in a state of arguing and being argumentative, they tend to not keep the other person in mind. And when you're in a relationship and when you're in a loving relationship with someone, you're on the same fucking team. Like, there's so many people who argue in ways like as if they're enemies. Like, they argue as if they're like actually like opponents on different teams. But when you're in a loving relationship, you really are on the same team. Like, you're on the same team of like relationship. Like, this is our relationship. And if you're in an actual loving relationship, like, why would you want to hurt your teammates? Like, why would you blatantly want to do or say something to hurt your teammates? And this is where, like, people learn their lessons when it comes to reining in their pettiness and reining in their mouths and learning how to be, like, a little bit more kinder, a little bit more gentler with other people in the same way that they would expect other people to treat them. Treat others the way you want the way you want to be treated. Like, if you don't want to be talked to in certain ways, like, don't be an asshole. And that's all we got to say about that. Hey, these working career affirmators. Let's see what's good with these. Yes, self-reflection is key. You know what? Like, I once had a reading with someone where, like, she didn't realize just how petty she was being about certain things. And I was like, sis, like, you need to rein it in. You need to rein it in. Like, that man, like, really, like, if you would have just communicated this in a regular way, like, he'd have did it. Like, he'd have hooked you up. He'd have did it. Like, you're sitting here stewing in your emotions because you failed to communicate how you feel about something, or that you want something. You fail to communicate your wants or your needs. And then you get mad at somebody because you expect them to be a fucking mind reader. Like, And then you get argumentative. Like, y'all on the same team. Like, don't treat them like that. Like, they don't deserve that. Like, the same way you don't deserve that and you don't deserve to be treated that way. Like, watch your fucking mouth. Like, I've told, I'll be the one to check my female friends. Like, I'll be the one, like, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Well, if you have no teammate, my darling, then it's a matter of taking in the lesson. Listen, take what resonates and leave the rest. Basically, that's how we do with these tarot readings. These are collective readings. The messages are not going to apply to everybody at every point in time. Take what resonates and leave the rest. If the message does not apply to you, then let it fly. But if you know that you are the type, you don't necessarily even have to be in a relationship. It's a matter of acknowledging that you are the type of person that does not communicate in effective ways. Because when you get hurt, you get petty. And instead of coming to the realization that you're on the same team and that you shouldn't be doing and saying things that are hurtful to people that you actually love, because that's not an act of unconditional love. This is really what it boils down to. You don't have to be in a relationship with somebody for you to come to the realization that you may be like that. You might be petty. You might like to hit below the belt. You might like to really get under somebody's skin and turn their thumb screw. Like in the 48 Laws of Power, they call it a thumb screw, turning someone's thumb screw. You know what the hell their emotional or psychological weakness is, and so you fucking go for the kill and slice at the jugular. Like, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You don't have to be that way. That's really what it's about. That's what that message is about. Whether or not you're in a relationship, if you're that type of person, then you need to acknowledge that that is not an act of self, like unconditional love. Like, that's not unconditional love. And if you're in a loving relationship with someone, acknowledge the fact that you may be that way. Acknowledge the fact that you may be combative. And it's on some shit like nobody wants to deal with somebody who's combative. Like, do you want to deal with somebody who's combative? Well, then if you're combative, would you deal with yourself? If you are combative, you need to learn how to watch your mouth. Because ultimately, when you're in a loving relationship, you're on the same team. You're not on opposing teams. It's about learning how to work with others, learning how to be an effective communicator, learning how to communicate in ways in which you're actually going to be heard. Like, I tell people all the time, when you're trying to communicate with someone, watch what you're saying, because the moment you come at somebody with that, what happens is that they get defensive. And when someone gets defensive, especially for someone who is an avoidant attachment style, what they're going to do is they're going to shut down immediately. They're going to get defensive, they're going to shut down, and that's it. The conversation is over. So it's you really have to approach this conversation in a way in which what you're trying to say, the message that you're trying to convey, is you're actually going to be able to get your point across. So it's I've said that before, do you want to be an asshole, or do you actually want to communicate? Because if you're going to speak like an asshole and you're going to use asshole words and terminology and just come at somebody in a certain type of energy, or a certain type of, you're just, being nasty towards them, how far do you think that conversation is going to go? Do you think that conversation is actually going to get anywhere? So it's a matter of do you want to argue, or do you want to actually communicate? That's something that you need to ask yourself. Let's get to these work and career affirmators. I like these little affirmator messages. They be coming through with some ish sometimes. Yes. On the surface, we've got action. Beneath the surface, we have listening. Okay. Action. I liberate myself from the endless treadmill of procrastination and start taking action. Taking action reminds me that it feels good to move forward instead of running in place. And it doesn't take any more energy than all of my procrastinating, although it does result in fewer online shoe orders. Yes. It's time to take action. It's time to start taking action. It's time to stop procrastinating. For real. Whatever it is that you need to do, it's time to Get on with it. Get on with it. If you've been feeling as though you've got to take action, if you feel a call from spirit, like if spirit's been talking to you, like it's time for you to make some moves, well then it's time for you to make some moves. We also have listening. I foster a heightened level of engaged listening in all of my conversations, whether in person or over the phone. When I start to zone out or feel the urge to interrupt, I remind myself that it's better to tune in and listen. Really listen to what the other person is saying, because without good, attentive listening, I won't be able to shoot. What did they just ask me? Yes, listening. Intensively listening. Oh my goodness, that's a very good one. A lot of people do not listen to actually listen. They listen to reply. And so they're not actually listening to the words that people are saying, the words coming out of their mouth. If you're that type of person, that is constantly cutting someone off in mid sentence, like if you're constantly trying to overtalk somebody, like check yourself. Recently we had a vow of silence where we took a vow of silence for a week with me and my circle sisters. The vow of silence is, it gets real. We committed to at least 6 hours of silence a day, where we just sit in silence and we allow ourselves to be silenced, and we turn inward and we assess and we allow ourselves to just fucking listen. Just be in a state of listening. Because when you actually listen, you learn a lot, not just from the universe, but from others. And honestly, like, a lot of people be asking me, like, how do you just know about people? And I'm like, it's called our gift of discernment. Like, tap into your intuition. Like, listen. And not even just that, but like actually listen to when people are actually speaking to you. Like, so many people, listen, hold up, I gotta take a little sip of tea for this. So back in the day, my friends used to always make jokes about how I was psychic. And I never wanted to claim that. Like, this was like in my late teens, early 20s. I'm damn near 40 now, so it's a while ago. Back then, I was not in a place yet where I was accepting of myself or accepting of my abilities, accepting of my skill set. And so, like, my friends would joke around because, like, I would always call things before it happened. Like, I would always call, like, the moves that people would make before they would make them. And I would be like, listen, it's not that I'm a psychic. I'm just, like, I have a fucking degree in psychology. Like, I am extremely well read in psychology. And, like, that's the thing. Like, personality theory and all that good shit. Like, yeah, I've studied extensively. And so for me, it's not even a matter of being psychic. Like, I just know how people move according to their personality style, like, and their type. Like, I know how people are going to move. Like, I know how a narcissist is going to act and react. Like, I know what people are going to say, the moves that they're going to make before they fucking make it, based upon spending most of my life in a state where I'm just observing people. Because one of my favorite pastimes is people watching. Like, just sitting in the most random ass places and just people watching. Like, nobody ever knows what the fuck I'm doing, because I'm just low-key just chilling. But it's like, am I like low-key psychoanalyzing like every fucking body around me, and like just watching people and watching what they're doing, what, like, even ear hustling. I be ear hustling, bro. Like, let me tell you something. Like, I learned how to fucking read lips and everything. Like, I've been doing this since I'm a fucking kid, because, like, I was, like, the only girl growing up. They did not let me play with all the boys, even though I was a tomboy. Whenever we got together, like, I would always have to, like, sit with all the freaking women, because like all of my family in and around my age group were all boys. So I didn't have any other girls to play with. Like, so I had to sit in the kitchen with all the grown people, with all the grown women, whatever, what have you. And it's like, I couldn't say anything. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't speak. It was like, back in the day, it was very much you're a child. Children should be seen and not heard. Like, I couldn't even laugh at a joke because, whoo, don't let me be sitting here laughing at a joke, especially like an adult joke. What? You know how many times I got slapped for that? The trauma. The trauma. Okay? Yes, sis, you know what I'm talking about. Okay? Can't even sit here laughing at no damn joke because motherfuckers is quick to fuck you up. Okay? No. But because I had to basically be subjected to that, I learned how to people watch. Like, that's all I could do was people watch. Ooh, they playing that ratchet music outside. Playing some ratchet music outside. Okay. That system was dumping. I was like, ooh, it's Friday. It's Friday. They be doing the most out here sometimes. Ooh. We're getting on to these love oracles. So yeah, so my ass people watching. I just got really good at reading people. Like reading like just reading the way they move, their body language, like the behavior patterns. Like I said, like I got to the point where, like, because I've been doing this since I was a kid, like I learned how to read lips and everything. I be in the cut, like all up in people's conversations. They don't even know I'm in their conversation, but I be in their conversation. Everybody asking me, you going live tonight? Where you at, girl? Where you at? We on YouTube. We on YouTube. Hold up. Now I have to go over here to look for this link. Oh, let's copy this. Let's copy and paste. Okay. Okay. Let's keep it going, y'all. Let's keep it going. So yeah, my whole thing is, like, if you actually listen to people and you actually watch them, like, you don't even necessarily have to be psychic. You don't even necessarily have to tap into yourself intuitively to know how people move. Like, you just have to watch them. Listen. Listen. Listen to the words coming out of their motherfucking mouth. Listen. People give themselves away all the time. Like, you don't understand. Like, even like the most subtle of things, like the tone in people's voices when they say certain things, it's like, ooh, train your ear to listen for that. Listen. 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 The more you listen, the more you shut the fuck up and just listen, the more you will learn. Let somebody dig themselves into a grave. You just listen. Just listen. All right, I'm done. I'm done. We're done with that. Let's go on to these the romance oracles. Let's see what the romance oracles got to say. That this angel oracle. And then we'll move on to the love oracle. And then we'll move on to our tarot messages. Like I said earlier, I'm going to upload this onto YouTube so you guys can watch the replay. It will be on here for y'all. I don't usually do that. I usually do my lives and then delete them. Yes, it's true. People do put yes in the comments. Yes. People do tell on themselves all the time. All you have to do is listen. Just listen. Listen to the words coming out their mouth. For real. Like, if people just let, like, especially when you're dating, like, just talk to somebody for a few months. Just talk to them. Like, literally, just talk to them for a few months. And in those few months, just listen. I can guarantee you in 3 months or less, 3 months or less, you will know whether or not someone is full of shit. Just listen. Just listen. Most people, it don't even take a full 3 months. You'll know they're full of shit within like a week or less. Some people, you know they full of shit that first day that you talk to them. It'd be like immediately. Why? Because you know what to listen for. You be like, ooh, red flag. Red flag. That's, I don't like the tone of the voice that when you said that, sir. I don't know. That, it's a red flag. That's a red flag. We're going to have to throw a flag on that. It's a red flag, sir. Ooh, 3 weeks. Yeah, see? I'm telling you, just listen. Just listen. Most people, in a month or less. In a month or less. In a month or less. Just listen. They'll let you know who the hell they are. And when they let you know who they are, listen. Okay? Don't sit here and don't be on some I want what I want. Don't be on some I could save this motherfucker. I could change them. I could turn them into somebody else, because that's your control speaking. You just want to extend your control over them. You think you have the power to do that. Stop. Stop. Take them for who they are. Accept them for who they are. You done listened. Yes, believe who they are when they show you and let it go. Okay? There are more fish in the sea, honey. There are over a billion people in this world. There are over a billion people in this world. There are plenty of fish in the sea. Do not be deceived. Do not be stuck on somebody who don't want to be stuck on you, who's out here deceiving and don't do that. Don't do that. All right, what do we got? We got wedding. Ooh, wedding. Romantic feelings. We got flirt. We got playfulness. We got healing. Family issues. Beneath the deck, we got deception. Woo, deception. We just talking about deception. Listen, honey. Hot deception. Someone is wearing a false mask in this relationship. It could be you, it could be them. Take it how it resonates. Take it how it resonates. For real, before you be sitting here like, oh, I'm not deceiving. Shit, you could be if you're not telling the truth about how you truly feel about somebody. You could be if you're sitting here burying your emotions and acting like your emotions don't exist to make somebody else feel better. You could be if you're not sitting here standing in your truth because you don't want to stir the pot and you don't want to cause an argument with somebody who can't handle you standing in your truth. We start with marriage. We get wedding, not marriage, wedding. We start with wedding. This situation could involve a marriage. For some of you, it could involve a marriage. It could involve a situation where you done living with somebody, you cohabitating with somebody. We got romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Oh, for some of y'all, this may be a new situation. Flirts. Extend your light-hearted energy to others. Yes. Some of y'all need to flirt. Some of you in situations, you need to be more open and forthcoming. Playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. Yes, some of you are being stuck in the muds. Some of you it's like you got to stick up your ass. Stop. Stop. Be playful. Be a flirt. Show your romantic feelings. Don't be an a-hole. We got healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. Yes. Doing some inner child healing, doing some shadow working, coming to the realization that some of the traits in which you carry because you have mother and father wounds. Allowing yourself to heal from that. Allowing yourself to acknowledge it. Allowing yourself to forgive your parents, forgive yourself, releasing whatever negative thought and behavior patterns you are carrying within you so that you can have a healthy and loving relationship with someone. Yes. Ooh, how about them earth signs? I'm like, we gonna get to earth signs. We ain't get to the elementals yet. We're on our love oracles. That is our last oracle deck before we start our elementals. Let's see what these little love oracles is saying for us. Yes. It's beautiful. Allowing the inner child to heal, allowing the inner child to flourish, allowing yourself to step into that energy. Allowing yourself to have fun. Listen, sometimes I go to the park when it's empty and I play. I like to play with chalk. I like to blow bubbles. I be indulging my inner child. I go and buy myself some ice cream. Shit, with some sprinkles. Yes. 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 I was indulging this summer. I was chilling. You have to indulge your inner child. It's a part of the reparenting process. For real. You got to give yourself what your parents didn't give you. Allow your inner child to flourish. Alrighty. Let's see what we got. We got sunglasses. We got the runner. We have palm tree. We got love. We got healthy choices beneath the depth. We got abundance. Yes. Yes. Come through abundance. Keep a positive mindset. You manifest exactly what you want. Being in a state of gratitude and bliss. Yes. Stay in a state of gratitude and bliss. Why? Because being in a state of gratitude and bliss most definitely brings you in some abundance. It brings in that energy of abundance. For real. Keep that positive mindset. Keep it going. Keep it going. That's the overall energy we got up in here. I like it. I fucks with it. We start with sunglasses. Watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting, perception, focusing out. Listen, this could be you. It could be the other person. But if you online playing Captain, no, not Captain, Inspector Ratchet. If you online playing Inspector Ratchet and trying to look in at the past, trying to find out what your ex is doing, what your ex situationship is doing, what your ex husband, your ex-wife, your ex-girlfriend, your ex-boyfriend, your whatever, your ex-fuck buddy, whoever. If you online and you're trying to find out what the fuck they doing, you need to stop that shit. They could be doing it to you, so be mindful. You could also feel that energy in the air. We got the runner. Runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy, and listening to ego. Yes. For some of you, you are dealing with someone who is a runner, someone who was the emotional unavailable type. You could be the runner. You could be the one that's emotionally unavailable and who got be emotionally shutting down. Palm tree. Stability, security, permanence, growth, endurance, and flexibility. Yes. We got stability coming in, security, we got growth, we got love coming in, unconditional love, self-love, oneness, passion, affection, and attraction. Yes. Why? Because the more that you fucking love yourself, the more attractive you fucking become. Yes, the more you be feeling yourself, the more other people be feeling you. It's like a natural reaction that happens. And then we have healthy choices. Making healthy choices in love and in life. Self-love, self-care, and being happier. I know that's right. Yes. Why? Because when you make healthy choices for yourself, you definitely experience more happiness and bliss in your life. Why? Because you're in a place of peacefulness. You ain't got nobody disturbing your peace. You ain't got nobody messing with you. You chilling. You're in a state of balance and oneness. Yes. I know that's right. Listen, we're going to drop signs. Whichever sign I see first, we will start with that elemental. First sign I see is the first elemental that we will begin with. We're going to look at the front and the back of the deck, y'all. Water signs it is. Water, we'll do water, earth, air, fire. Water, earth, air, and fire. Water signs first. What message do we have for water signs? That is our Pisces, our Scorpio, and Cancer signs. I read for the entire natal chart. So if you know your natal charts, and you know where different signs fall within your natal charts, by all means, the message might be for you. Again, take what resonates and leave the rest. If the message does not apply to you, do not try to fit it to your story. I'll be reading the front of the list. I mean, the front. I'm sitting here reading. I'm sitting here reading comments and trying to shuffle at the same time. It's like, whoo, hold up. I will be reading the front of the front of the deck, the back of the deck. So we'll have a lot of messages coming in. See what messages we have for our water signs. That is our Pisces. Our Pisces, our Scorpios, and our Cancer signs. If you know your natal chart, again, you can look at your other placements, because I read for all placements. One more. All right. Let's see what we got here for the water signs. Okay. My water signs. We're starting with the Princess of Cups to the Tower. Ooh, some of y'all are in a state of a little emotional upheaval. There's a lot of emotional stuff going on in your life. And I mean, the reason why this stuff is going on primarily is because it's time for you to go through an evolution. It is time for you to go through growth and evolution. It is time for you to emotionally mature. For some of you, you're going on an emotional journey. And maybe you weren't listening to your spirit squad when your spirit squad told you that it was time to deal with your emotions. You may not have wanted to deal with your emotions. I feel you. As a Piscean, I don't be wanting to deal with my damn emotions either. Which is why you got here with this Tower card. The Tower has come in. That is an external force. It is usually our spirit squad coming in to rectify, to realign us. Because it's like, you straying a little off from the path. Like, we need to come over here. So, Have they been shifting things, realigning things so that you can actually acknowledge yourself emotionally, so that you can finally acknowledge that you even have emotions for some of y'all? Yes, because shit, water signs, we be hiding. We be hiding. We be acting like we don't have emotions. Like, we be hiding. I know how y'all do. We be hot. Listen, I'm a triple Piscean. My sun, moon, and my rising are Pisces, which just means that what you fucking see is what you get with me. Like, for real. Like, it's all fucking Pisces. So I get it. I get it. We be hiding. But it's alright, because Spirit said, nah, nah, nah. Nah, nah, nah. I got something for that ass. Blocking, we have the 10 of Swords to the Wheel of Fortune with the 10 of Swords. There are cycles, there are people, places, and things in which you need to allow yourself to release, allow yourself to move away from, allow yourself to be like, I'm good on that. For others of you, be mindful of playing the martyr. Be mindful of getting stuck in these cycles of, oh, woe is me. Oh, why does all the bad things always happen to me? Oh, why does it always have to be me? Oh, why do I have to be the one to do it? Because it's your fate. Because that's how it was. It's meant to be. Like, if not you, then who? But ultimately, be mindful. Don't allow yourselves to get caught up in these cycles of negative thinking and negative thought patterns, because when we allow ourselves to get caught up in these, oh, woe is me type of mindsets, we just basically elongates our wait time. Because it's like Spirit and like the universe is trying to get that turnarounds, but it's really a matter of like allowing ourselves to like think positively, embrace the lesson for what it is, embrace the fact that it is a fucking lesson, and allow ourselves to be in flow. Like, listen, we water signs. Like, we're supposed to be in flow. Like, be in flow. Allow yourself to be in flow. Stop fighting and swimming up against the currents. Your own. It's just, we make things worse for ourselves when we do that. Woo! Coming over here, we got the 9 of Wands to the 3 of Pentacles, and for me, this is all about being in a state of defensiveness. Some of you are feeling like the wounded warrior. Some of you feel as though you have dealt with some shit already. You done went through things already. You like, I already done dealt with this. I don't want to deal with it anymore. Some of you are feeling as though, you know, like, I tried this. I don't know if I want to try it again because it's a little much. Like, so you're a little defensive as to like what you want to do. And for a lot of you, it's in reference to the guidance in which your spirit squad is like, what is your spirit squad doing? Like, some of you have to, some of you are getting a test of fate. For real. It's like a faith test. How much faith do I actually have in the universe? How much faith do I have that the universe will provide for me? How much faith do I have that the universe has my back? Like, that's how I feel. Like, this is like a faith test for some of you. All right. Let's look at this back of the deck. Let's see what the back of the deck is saying. We start with the Moon card. That is us. Ooh, that is some of you, your intuition is growing. Your sensitivities to things is growing exponentially. For some of you, you're definitely going to be tested. There are definitely going to be lessons coming in. There will be lessons coming forward. For some of you, there are some secrets in the dark. There may be some secrets in the dark when it comes to possibly a earth sign. Someone that you have a relationship with. Things may seem like they're up in the clouds. It's ungrounded when it comes to this relationship. For others of you, the relationship that you have with prosperity, the relationship that you have with stability and money, like, it's coming to the forefront. They may be a little ungrounded when it comes to your money and when it comes to your finances. You may not necessarily have stability in your life right now. Things may be up in the air. Be mindful of being defensive. Some of you feel like you gotta fight. Who you fighting? Some of you may feel like you gotta fight a fire sign. For some of you, it may be twin flame situation. For some of you, it may be someone that you work with, somebody you rent from. For some of you, somebody may have triggered your inner child. There may be truths coming out concerning your inner child, somebody's child. There may be some truths coming out concerning a child. You may be coming to terms with certain things concerning your inner child. This is my fucking light. Some of you are going to have something to celebrate when you actually decide to, like, finally take action and boss up and be bold. Like, it's like, stop being so scary. Like, the time is now. Be bold. Be bold. That is definitely for somebody out there. Be bold. Do not be scary. Be bold. Allow yourself to embrace things. Embrace things. You will be victorious, especially when it comes to starting new ventures. Starting a new venture. Starting a new project. Getting new money. Focusing on that. So you will be victorious if you allow yourself to boss the fuck up and stop being so scary. There are options. Some of you got options and opportunities out here, but you're so busy, like, in a state of sadness and just looking at the past, that you're not allowing yourself to fully embrace all these opportunities that are coming before you. Some of you are in a state of emotional imbalance, and some of you are having a hard time trying to decipher your intuition from your ego voice. Like I always say, if your intuition is, like, at one with your higher self, like, your higher self be trying to pull you towards, like, your soul's purpose. It tries to pull you towards, you know, a lot of uncomfortable places because it tries to bring you out of your comfort zone. On the other hand, like, your ego voice invokes fear in your ass and tells you, oh, you shouldn't be doing this. Oh, this is scary. Oh, but what if you fail? Ooh, your ego voice be trying to scare the shit out of you so you don't do nothing. Don't listen to that shit. Some of you are in a state of waiting because you're sitting here overthinking things. You're overthinking, overanalyzing, not allowing yourself to see, like, what it is logically. So you're in a state of waiting. Some of you need to really tap into your intuition and allow your intuition to be your guiding force and be your guiding light. Some of you are in a state of sorrow, sadness. You feel grief when it comes to work. Like, it's like disappointment. Like, you may feel as though, like, you've tried to do things before in the past, but it hasn't necessarily worked out or panned out the way you wanted it to. And so you may be looking at the past when it comes to that. Some of you may feel as though you're dry, like you're drowning in your emotions when it comes to trying to figure out the next steps that you're supposed to be taking. But it's like, no, you need to understand, you the magician, motherfucker. You can manifest, yes, the magician to the motherfucking Queen of Pentacles. You can manifest that shit. If you just stop allowing yourself to, yes, 3 of fucking swords to the 8 of swords. Stop allowing yourself to get caught up in these mental traps. Based on the past, based on your past emotions, based on your hurt ass inner child that is talking to you and your ego talking to you. Stop. Stop. Stop allowing yourself to get caught up in these cycles where you're constantly just overthinking and overanalyzing. And, oh, what if this happens? And what if this happens? And why does everything have to be so negative? Like, what if something good happens? What if you actually succeed? What if you are actually successful? Some of y'all needs to get that fire up under your ass when it gets to being focused. The time is now. You need to break out these cycles, break out these patterns that you've been having, especially when it comes to your stagnancy, not allowing yourself to move forward. Why? Because you busy stuck in the past. Some of you have some serious ass lack mentality that you need to address within yourself so that you can finally boss the fuck up. Some of y'all need to tap into your inner intuition. Some of you also need to acknowledge, especially if you are a divine fucking feminine, you need to acknowledge the fact that you have issues with receiving, and you need to allow yourself to receive. Allow yourself to go hermit mode. Allow yourself to, like, be in a state where you're just chilling. You're receiving. You allowing yourself to receive. You just chilling. Just allow yourself to be chilling. Go hermit mode. Some of y'all need to pass judgments. Pass judgments. And close out cycles. Become enlightened to the fact of what you're doing to yourself. With this 4 cups energy, yes. Become enlightened to the fact that sometimes you are your worst enemy. And you get caught in these thought cycles where you're constantly looking at the past and you crying over spilt milk of the past, when you really need to be focused on the opportunities that are being laid out before you. Yes, acknowledge the fact that you be out here invalidating your emotions and acting like your emotions don't exist. Yes. Become enlightened to the fact that you need to get focused. You need to allow yourself to move forward. Stop holding yourself back. Stop holding on to shit that does not serve you. Be the motherfucking fool. Allow yourself to let go of people, places, and things and limiting beliefs that have been placed before you. Allow yourself to fully embrace yourself in all of your glory. Embrace the 9 of Pentacles. That is my baby motherfucking Empress. Embrace the 9 of Pentacles. Embrace that energy. Embrace that power. Embrace the power of creativity. Allow that shit to flow through you. Allow it to flow through you. Don't get stressed out. Don't be a sad motherfucker. Don't be out here. Don't be on some sad. Don't allow yourself to get stressed out. You don't have to be stressed out. Being stressed out is a state of mind. You could shift and pivot perspective. For real. Allow yourself to think about it. Allow yourself to assess. Allow yourself to fully come full circle and close out these patterns where you sit here and you allow yourself to get caught up in these negative thought cycles and thought patterns where you're just spiraling out and thinking the worst of the worst. It's gonna be alright. You're gonna have shit to celebrate when you decide to boss up. Some of you also need to come to the realization that your family members, and particularly your sisters, may be some narcissistic ass bitches, and like, you can't change them. Like, you need to just accept them for who the fuck they are. They some narcissistic ass bitches. Y'all relationship might go through a death and transformation. For real. You might have to call a motherfucker out on their ish. It is what it is. For others of you, you might be getting closer to your sisters as you commiserate over your daddy issues and your father wounds. There may be a transformation going on when it comes to the relationship that you have with your sister when you come to the realization that y'all share the same wounds. Some of you are going to be rowing your damn boat away from these one-sided relationships that you have in your life, which is what's up. Also be mindful, because there's some of y'all out there that need to come to the realization that you end up in these one-sided relationships and you're constantly giving out of control. You're not giving from a state of unconditional love. You're giving from a state of control because you really just want to have control over a motherfucker. You don't actually give unconditionally, and you need to acknowledge that about your damn self. Woo! All right, some of y'all is wishing for things. What you wishing for? You wishing things will just slow down. Some of you may be indulging in stagnancy. Some of you may be indulgent in going really, really slow towards bossing up and stepping into certain things. Some of you may have had a very cold-hearted father, and or have dealt with cold-hearted lovers. But what needs to be acknowledged is the inner child issues that you have that attracts these people to you. Because it's really an issue that you have with your daddy. They could have been emotionally unavailable. We got balance coming in. We gonna have to be strong because we're coming through. Who's coming through? Ooh, somebody might be coming through. Somebody might be coming forth and trying to offer you their cup, and you're gonna have to be strong because there's some past energies coming in, and this person might have brought you out of balance at some other point in time. So be mindful. Also, for some of you, you may have to come to terms with the realization that you's a captain save-a-hoe, and you be out here trying to save people who don't want to be saved. Ooh, yes, to the motherfucking, ooh, to the devil, to the Prince of Wands. Ooh, ooh, that's a whole fuckboy / fuckgirl energy. Ooh, ooh. Some of y'all need to come to the realization that you be out here trying to save fuckboys / fuckgirls. Take it how it fucking resonates. Some of you be out here doing the most, and it is a burden every time. It is a burden in your life. That is your type. Who your type is the devil to the motherfucking Prince of Wands. That's a whole fuckboy. That's what that is. That's what that is. Whoo! Some of y'all need to come to the realization that that is your type. That's a burden. It be a burden in your life, okay? Spirit's trying to tell you, though. Spirit's trying to tell you we got something better for you. You just need to have hope. Have hope. Allow us to star to the motherfucking sun. Yes, the star to the sun. Allow us to illuminate things in your life. Yes, stop lying to yourself. Assess yourself. Turn inwards. Allow yourself to receive these messages from the universe. Allow yourself to tap into this Empress energy. Your intuition to the High Priestess. Yes. Yes, water signs. Yes. Allow yourself to tap into this. Your divine feminine side. Allow yourself to tap into your emotions, your feelings, your intuition. Allow yourself to be guided by your intuition so that you can get to a space where you are emotionally healing yourself and balancing yourself. Yes. Yes. Some of y'all need to make choices about certain relationships you have in your life. And maybe, especially when it comes to family. Because some of you need to set boundaries with family members and learn how to say no. Some of y'all need to allow yourself to rebalance things because your family members is driving you crazy. And they have you in a place of imbalance. Also be mindful because I'm feeling a lot of spiritual ascension symptoms. So there's like feelings of dizziness. There is a lot of ish going on in the head. There is like fuzziness and static in the head. Some of you are going to be feeling disconnected. Some of you may be feeling pressure in the head. Some of you may be feeling dizzy. Some of you may be feeling ungrounded. If you feel all of that all up in this area, please meditate. Please ground your energy. We are getting activations. We are collectively... Who, you got a headache? Yeah, because I just felt like a wave of some serious ass emotions just hit me. Like, not emotions, fucking symptoms just hit me. And I was like, ooh. But it was weird because it was like, it wasn't even just like headaches and migraines. Like, it also felt like dizziness, disconnectedness. I was like, ooh, like, whoo, where the fuck that coming from? Like, I know that's not me. Like, that's a collective. So hold up. I said I was doing air next, right? Water, air, earth, fire. Water, air, earth, fire. Okay. Oh, we're gonna do air signs. Air signs, air signs. Air signs and air placements. What messages do we have for the upcoming week for our air signs and air placements? What messages do we got for our Aquarius, Geminis, and our Libras? Oh, Libra gang gang. Happy birthday, Libras. What messages do we have for our air signs and our air placements? Yeah, the collective is going through it. Like, I feel sorry for the people who are not fasting and who are not detoxing their body. Because ascension symptoms are getting very, very, very real. If you just so happen to be watching this video on the playback and you do not follow me or watch me on IG, go follow me on Instagram because there's hella information. Go check out my website, lebotanica.com. Go check out my blog. No, Earth is next. We on air. We on air. We did water. We are on air. Then we'll do earth. Then we do fire. We are on earth. We are on air. Air signs. Aqua, Gemini, Libras. Libra, Aquarius, and Geminis. What messages do we have for the air signs coming up? Be mindful of your spiritual ascension symptoms. I have stuff posted on my blog. I have stuff posted on my IG. There are resources available to you. Whew, okay. Air signs. We are starting with the Three of Pentacles to the Queen of Wands. We got y'all spirit squads coming through. For some of you guys, you're definitely tapping into your, that's my baby, High Priestess, that Queen of Wands energy. Some of you are tapping more into your divine feminine energies, embracing it. Your spirit squad is trying to get you to embrace it. Some of you may be embracing it. Some of you may not be embracing it. And I'll say that because what is blocking us is the Magician to the High Priestess. Some of you maybe in a space where you're getting more sensitive and your sensitivities are heightening, but at the same time, you may not necessarily be actually listening to your intuition. You may not be accepting of what it is that you're getting in the air. You dig? It's like you're gifted. Your gifts are awakening, but you don't want to accept it. So coming in, we got the World to the Ten of Cups. And with the World to the Ten of Cups, it is time for cycles to close out. There is a completion of cycles that are coming in when it comes to the rebalancing of your emotions. There may be family issues coming up, family of origin issues coming up for you to deal with. Some of you may be triggered, especially with the holidays coming up. There are a lot of holidays coming up, so some of you may be triggered when it comes to that. Some of you may be feeling some type of way. Either way, there's completion and a cycle. There are cycles come and close in full circle when it comes to that. All right, we starting with a Two of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Some of y'all feel like you're in a state of unbalance. You may feel like the world is coming down on you. You may feel like you're juggling too much. But you're juggling. Some of you are juggling too much because you're trying to boss up. I can dig it. Some of you are trying to get in a more boss position. But also be mindful, because somebody at work may be like using you and not necessarily like intending on giving you your fair share or being fair with you about things. And that's going to trigger your inner child. Ooh, that's going to trigger your inner child. But some of you intuitively know this shit. Listen, if you working for people who ain't shit, like, you have every right to demand more and or shift yourself into a different position or a different job where you are going to be appreciated. Ooh. For some of you, there is a one-sided relationship that you have with your mother, and you're trying to be more assertive. But sometimes your mother treats you like a child, even though you a grown adult. Some of you are going to have to follow your intuition, though. Allow your intuition to come through. It's just difficult. Some of you are in a place of indecision when it comes to the situation. I see some of you tapping into your creativity, allowing your inner child to flourish, allowing yourself to create, following your intuition when it comes to that, becoming more enlightened because you're allowing yourself to create and tap into your inner child. When you allow yourself to create art, create music, you're also tapping into the right side of your brain. So you're tapping into your divine feminine side. You're allowing that side to flourish. And if you're playing, you're also simultaneously like hooking your inner child up with a little bit of playtime. Some of you need to get focused and serious on moving forward when it comes to certain things. Some of you have something to celebrate, but it's like you don't necessarily see it that way. Like, there's so much like emotional turmoil being brought to the surface. Like, some of you very well have certain things to celebrate. And there's definitely certain things to celebrate. And Spirit wants you to like break out of this cycle get yourself into a place of like emotional rebalance and stop looking at things from a negative standpoint. Like, you have opportunities. There's like, ooh, you got opportunities and you fucking victorious. Like, yeah, like, stop being in this Four Cups energy where you're just sitting here so consumed with your sadness, so consumed with the past, so consumed with what you could have had, so consumed with disappointments and expectations, and just looking at things that didn't necessarily pan out the way you thought they were going to pan out. Like there are so many things for you to be in a celebratory state about. Like, there are so many things for you to celebrate right now. Like, Spirit has brought forth like so many freaking amazing opportunities. Like, so many things are freaking popping off in your life right now. Air signs, air placements. So it's like Spirit wants you to acknowledge that. Like, acknowledge like all this beauty in your life. Like, there's so much beautiful shit happening. Like, there are so many beautiful opportunities being brought forth. But it's like you get caught up in these cycles where you get down and out. It's like some of you don't see yourself as being like worthy or deserving enough. Like, some of you are dealing with imposter syndrome and you don't feel like you deserve it, or you don't feel like you belong somewhere. But it's like Spirit's like, nah, you victorious. You exactly where the hell you supposed to be. Yes, message. Some of you need to assess yourself, especially when it comes to who you are, and your stable within your inner self, like the stability that you have within yourself. Some of you need to assess that. Like, some of you may have felt as though your stability or your core was shaken a little bit, but that was just Spirit coming forth with a lesson, because some of y'all needed to go through a little death and transformation period. Some of you needed to, in order for you to boss up and to realize like, you got something to celebrate. You got something to celebrate. Yes, work on these emotions. I see why you're not working on these emotions. It's because you're not validating your emotions. You acting like your emotions don't exist. You're in a state of suppressing and repressing your emotions and turning inwards. And because you don't even take the time to like reach out and touch a friend, call a friend, touch somebody, be like, hey. Some of you are in a place of like internal turmoil and stress. Some of you might be having nightmares. Some of you may be internally stressed out, feeling it. Because you're not necessarily allowing yourself to really process your emotions, acknowledge them, name your emotions. Like, what am I feeling? Like, I tell people all the time, like, get yourself a feelings wheel. Go to Google yourself a feelings wheel, save it. When you're doing your processing of emotions, when you're doing your shadow work, your inner child healing, like, have your feelings wheel so that you can actually reflect on that, so that you have something that's like a reference point. Like, all right, this is how I'm feeling. Name your emotions. Allow yourself to, in a state of observation, observe your emotions. Okay, this is how this feels. Okay, I acknowledge this is why I feel this way. I am acknowledging it. Allow yourself to feel what you're feeling. Allow it to run its course. Release. There are different ways to deal with emotions. There's ways to deal with fresh emotions, and there are ways to deal with old emotions. When you're doing that internal inner child healing, you should be playing the observer and not allowing yourself to immerse in those emotions at all, because you've already experienced it once. You've already gone through it. You survived it. You don't need to relive it and re-traumatize yourself. You just play the observer. Things that happen fresh, though, you allow your emotions to run its course. You allow yourself to feel how you feel. Yes. Some of you are wishing to close out some cycles and to row your boats away from things. Some of you may be trying to row your boat away from a water sign, or from someone who may be emotionally manipulative. that you feel like you gotta be strong against. Ooh. For some of you, they may be secrets coming out. Secrets pertaining to your mother. Secrets pertaining to prosperity or abundance. That looks very personal. Somebody may have an issue with their mother that keeps you in a state where you feel as though you're constantly having to overthink or whatever, because she emotionally and or psychologically impacts the shit out of you and your money, and you're getting to a point where you're gonna have to play hermit mode, like go hermit mode on her. Like the relationship that you have, ooh, she's egotistical. Like your mother may be egotistical or narcissistic, and that is the truth. You out here having to save your mama when you need to be independent. Some of you have a mother that expects you to take care of her, but at the same time, she's not necessarily like a healthy person to be around. Like she's not healthy for your emotions or for like your mind. And it's like she may even guilt trip you and make you feel some type of way that you don't want to necessarily help her. And for some of you, it's not that you don't want to help her. It's just that she's a fucking asshole. Like, I'm sorry. Like, there ain't no other way to say this. Like, you got the devil energy here. Like, like someone who's very egotistical. Like, and I get it. I got one of those mamas. I got one of those mamas too. Like, I get it. Some of you are going to have to deal with this and allow yourself to separate yourself from the situation. Like, acknowledge things for what it is. Like, yes, that's your mother, but at the same time, like, she's also not bringing forth positive energy into your life. Like, if anything, she is like an energy vamp. She may be draining on you energetically, financially. Like, she's just a draining individual. So some of you are coming to that realization. Like, you're out here trying to save her, trying to help her, but at the same time, like, whoo, you need, step into that Nine of Pentacles, step into that baby Empress. The universe is telling you, like, have hope. Like, you feel like this is a burden. It's been a burden in your life. You've been defensive against closing out the cycle, but the universe is sending the Tower. Your spirit squad has spoken. Your spirit squad has spoken. For some of you, the Tower is going to get hit. Things might get a little bit messy because you've been holding on to shit. You haven't allowed things to let go. You haven't been thinking about things like in a logical way. You may be lying to yourself about certain things, but whoo, illumination is going to be coming in. It is time to cut off the people, places, and things that are no longer aligned with you. It is time to start a new chapter in your life where you learn how to say no, where you learn how to have boundaries, where you learn how to freaking, especially when you're dealing with petty ass bitches. For some of you, that's your mama, unfortunately. Some of you been waiting on things because it's like your mind versus intuition going back and forth. You sit here looking at the past, looking at past things, going back and forth, not allowing yourself to fully come to terms with the decision that has to be made concerning your family and this relationship. Some of you need to be bold, though. Some of you need to open your throat chakra and stand in your truth. You were not responsible for how someone reacts to you standing in your truth. If someone chooses to react in a negative way, if someone chooses to get defensive, if someone chooses to be immature in the way in which they react, that's not on you. Like, that's on them. Like, they chose to act and react in that way. That has nothing to do with you. Things may be a little bit up in the air. Things may be a little bit up in the air for some of you. There may be feelings. You may be feeling like you're left out in the cold. You may be trying to leave somebody out in the cold, but you moving real slow towards that. Moving real slow. And there's moving real slow towards a space where you're trying to rebalance yourself. For real. Like, it's been moving real slow. Like, Spirit's trying to get you back to a place of rebalance for some of you. For some of you, you've been in a space where you've been around energy that's been, like, holding you back and not allowing you to, like, fully flourish in ways. For some of you, like, you've been dealing with someone who is draining you, and energetically draining you, financially draining you, and unfortunately for some of you, that person is your mother. For others of you, it may not be your mama, but there's definitely a person within your realm that may be draining you energetically, financially, emotionally. They just emotionally, financially draining. It gets to be too much sometimes. All right, we are on our earth signs. And then we'll have our fire signs. And then we'll be wrapped, y'all. All right, earth signs. Ooh, major arcanas. Damn. All major arcanas? Yeah. We got some serious ass ish going on for the earth signs. Major life changes. Earth signs. We got the Hermit, 2. The Strength card. Some of y'all need to go hermit mode. You may not be used to going hermit mode. You may not be used to being on your own. And some of you may feel a little bit distraught because of that. Some of you may feel as though you have to be emotionally strong because you're in a space where you're on your own. You may feel lonely. It may feel lonely to be out on your own. Some of you are in a space where you're stepping more into your spirituality. You're finding yourself. And you're coming to the realization that in order for you to fully step into yourself, like, moments of solitude and, like, isolation need to be had. Blocking, we have the Fool to the Moon. Yeah, some of you don't realize that you're a little bit terrified to take a leap. Some of you have not fully embraced your trust in the universe just yet. You may not like starting new journeys. You may not like starting new things. You may find those things to be terrifying. It may be a deeply rooted fear that you have within yourself where you are terrified to start something new. But it's time for you to embrace things for what they are. Like, they don't have to be scary. Allow yourself to go on this journey. Allow yourself to fully embrace it. The energy coming in, we have the Sun to the Empress. There is illumination coming in. There is illumination coming in. There is joy and happiness. For some of you, there is abundance coming in. For some of you, there will be illumination on this journey concerning mother wounds, mother issues. Mother stuff will be highlighted. For others of you, this will be a joyous opportunity. It'll be a joyous journey that you're going on. It's going to be happy. You're going to be in a state of abundance, aligns with your creativity. Some of you may be scared to go on this journey, but if you just allow yourself to embrace yourself and embrace this journey, you may find not only who you are, but you may find your sense of like joy and happiness for real. And in turn, become aligned with the energy of abundance. There's beautiful energy. There's like a whole journey for the earth signs / earth placements. There's a whole little journey. Y'all might be going through it a little bit. There may be things coming to the surface when it comes to your fears, but it's gonna be all right. We got the Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck. We got the truth. What we got the truth about? Y'all in a state of waiting. Trying to get prepared. Trying to follow your intuition. When it comes to the moves in which you're going to make, I know that's right. That is very earth sign of you. That is very earth sign of you. Be that grounded ass energy. You gotta plot and plan your way forward. Yes. Some of you may be in a state where you're trying to do too much though. And it's time for you to close that out. Like, close out the side of you where you're just constantly doing too much. Some of you may be too tapped into your divine masculine where you're constantly going and going and going and constantly doing. But that's like, it's because your family programmed you that way. Like, your family made you believe that you had to constantly be working and constantly be working hard in order for you to actually be successful. Like, for some of you, like, your family programmed you to be a hustler and to have like 50 million jobs and be doing 50 million things at once. But what you don't realize is that you're a magical motherfucker and you don't have to actually work harder. You need to work smarter. And that means working with spirits. Tapping into that energy. Tapping into that energy. Yes. You don't have to be working this damn fucking hard. I know earth signs get they're very grounded. They're very in that groundedness energy and the stability, and they like to be stable and shit. But it's like, at the same time, it's like, understand that you were programmed that way. You were programmed that way. It's time to allow fate to take its turn. Allow yourself to get into a place of focus. Allow yourself to go through an emotional evolution in the process of things while you trust into your inner intuition. Yes, allow yourself to tap into your divine feminine energy, your ability to create. Some of you been sitting here lying to yourself about what you can achieve. Even though spirit been talking to your ass and letting you know, like, listen, as long as you get focused, as long as you have a game plan, as long as you do basically what you already be doing, because you already be on it, as long as you do what you're supposed to be doing, you're going to be victorious. But you be sitting here in a state of fear sometimes, lying to yourself about that shit. And Spirit said that it is time for you to walk away from that. Allow yourself to release that thought pattern, that behavior pattern, where you fall into this state where you don't necessarily trust in yourself and you don't trust in the fact that you already got this. For some of you, it's time to work on things. It is time for you to work on the rebalancing of yourself. It is time for you to work on your emotions. Some of you do not be fucking acknowledging your emotions. Because it's like every time you open up that box, ooh, it's like you get flooded. It's like a flood. It be a flood. You be drowning. It be too much. So you like to suppress and repress things. You be, ooh, it be too much. It's almost like an overindulgence of emotions. Ooh, it's like a, yes. It's like a, ooh. It's like an overindulgence of emotions. This gets very intense. But at the same time, there is a reason why all these things are being brought forth. And it's to trigger this Five of Pentacles energy. Like, a lot of things that have been happening in order to trigger you so that you can acknowledge certain things. So you can acknowledge your feelings of worth, how you feel when it comes to your value, how you feel when it comes to what you are able to actually achieve. Because some of you have this lack mentality and this fear surrounding what it is that you can actually achieve. Some of you keep yourself in a space where you shrink yourself and you're constantly making yourself smaller than what you actually are because of this inner childish that exists on the inside down there. There are messages coming in, though. You've just been a little defensive to these messages. Some of you have definitely been in a state where you've been burdening yourself because you're not allowing yourself to fully release the past. Some of you have been holding on to the past for dear life, not allowing yourself to fully embrace the fact that, like, you have new things coming in. If you just allow yourself to, like, embrace the newness that is coming in, you're gonna be all right. Like, spirit got you. Like, the universe got you. The universe always provides. Always. Always. Allow yourself to be who you are. Allow yourself to fully embrace your energy. That beautiful earth sign energy. Allow yourself to turn inwards for some time. Allow yourself to assess where you are right now. Assess how far you have come, because some of you don't necessarily take the time to actually, like, sit down and assess where you are right now and, like, how far you actually have come. Like, how much work have you actually put in to become who you are right now, today. Like, for real, I want you to sit down and I want you to really think about that shit. I want you to think about the last 5 years of your life. And I want you to think about who you were 5 years ago versus who you are today, in order for you to really assess and really take stock of how far you've actually come around full circle as an individual. Some of y'all need to put some fire up on the gas when it comes to your studies, when it comes to getting focused, when it comes to your diligence. Some of you need to allow yourself to fully come to terms with your enlightenment and the fact that there are certain things that are opening and awakening within yourself.
Oh, look at me. Look at the screen and talk.
Some of you have been in a state where you're turning inwards when it comes to your emotions, but you haven't necessarily fully embraced them for what they are just yet. Some of you have been moving away from yourself emotionally. I feel like there's like a denial of emotions. Some of you are in a state of, like, you feel things come to the surface, things get brought forth, but you run away from them. You try to shut it down. Like, ring the alarms, okay? Ring the alarm. You be running away. Running away. All right. Some of you are moving very slowly when it comes to your lower emotions that you've been holding on. Your more immature emotions. It's time for you to allow yourself to release those things. Allow yourself to let go of the more immature emotions that reside within you. Allow yourself to come full circle. Allow yourself to have hope as well. Know that you're being divinely guided. Some of you are definitely being divinely guided towards your bag right now. Whoo! Yes. Yes, some of you are divinely guided towards your bag right now because you have been in these one-sided situations where you're dealing with one-sided fucking people at work, and it is your justice. It is your fucking justice to get bossed up. Yes. Some of you need to make a decision though when it comes to a work situation. Some of you may feel like this makes you emotional. It may almost be like bittersweet in order for you to release and move on from this situation. But at the same time, you need to break these cycles. Yes, you need to break these cycles. You have things to celebrate. You will have things to celebrate. And at the same time, this is also going to be a lesson for you to emotionally balance yourself. Yes, it may trigger your inner child a little bit, but at the same time, it'll also help you release and close out cycles. Do not be defensive about it. Do not allow yourself to get in this wounded warrior phase about it, or look at it in a negative way. Like, this has definitely been a lesson from your spirit squad to practice boundaries, to practice saying no, to practice advocating for yourself and speaking your fucking truths. Yes. You're going to have things to celebrate. Some of you are going to be bossing up. It is time for you to allow yourself to fully go through this death and transformation. Because you got options. You may have a little bit of fear coming up to the surface when it comes to the decision that you need to make. And when it comes to the relationships that you have. Especially when it comes to work relationships. Some of you may have some fears coming up when it comes to current situation, current boss. Some of you may be going back and forth when it comes to intuition versus ego on a decision that you have to make. Some of you may be trying to leave your job. Also be mindful, because some of you might be dealing with a cold-hearted lover from your, like, that you've been dealing with for a while, and or who's come back from your past, who's trying to come back into your life. But Spirit wants you to know, like, you done already went through this whole transformation, and you got options. You got options. You don't have to be dealing with this. Whew. For some of you, it's time for you to start a new journey, though. Don't allow your feelings of like past hurts or rejections, or the deep emotional feelings, like cloud your judgments and get you caught up in this cycle where you're constantly overthinking things and overanalyzing things. Allow yourself to be guided by Spirit, and allow yourself to be guided by your intuition. Do not allow yourself to be in this state where you're just constantly going and going and going. Like, nah, just chill out. Trust in the universe. Trust in the universe. It's going to be okay. Last but not least, we got the fire signs. Fire signs. We got the fire signs. Let's see what messages we have for our Aries, Leos, and Sagittarius. We're reading for signs and all natal placements. See what messages we have for our fire signs. Oh shit. Then had cards not in the deck. We had to shift those back in. All right, one more fire signs. We start with the Hanged Man to the Justice. Hey, with Hangman to Justice, some of you are in a place of limbo. Some of you are becoming enlightened when it comes to the truth of things. Some of you are in a state of limbo, though, when it comes to the truth. Blocking, we have the Five of Wands to the Star. With the Five of Wands, that is ego versus intuition. Going back and forth. Some of you are having an internal battle going on within yourself, even though your spirit squad is coming through and trying to guide you exactly where it is that you need to be. Some of you may feel hopeless right now, and your spirit squad is trying to bring you back into a place of hope. Coming in, the Six of Pentacles to the Nine of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles, some of you have been dealing with one-sided situations where you feel are not necessarily fair. Some of you wish that you could just be out on your own and not have any fucking obligations, or not have, basically be like single, just chilling. The Nine of Pentacles, that's a single, wealthy, abundant card. Like, you just wish you were single and wealthy and shit. Like, you ain't have, like, all you could do is just deal with your money. Like, just focus on your money and just be chilling. Some of you may not feel like things are fair right now in your life, when it comes to those things, and you're just trying to recalibrate those things. Get yourself into a place of being aligned with that energy. That's also my baby Empress energy card. Yeah, I just feel like it's more of a feeling like things may not be fair. Like, I just want to be in this state where I'm single and I'm abundant and I'm chilling and I ain't got no other worries in the world. Like, I'm just chilling. All right, we start with the Death to the Emperor. Ooh, some of y'all have to go through you've been going through an entire death and transformation. Some of you have been going through an entire death and transformation, especially when it comes to work. Some of you guys have bossed up, like really, really bossed up, and you have a lot to celebrate. I know that's right. Some of you have been hiding your emotions, especially when it comes to you playing Captain Save-A-Ho, and or you wanting to be saved. You got to be strong. Some of y'all got to be strong when it comes to your mother, because your mother is the devil. Some of you have to be strong when it comes to your abundance and your money and shit. Some of you may have fear concerning your options, or the different options that you can take moving forward and going forward. Some of you may be thinking about your options right now, but ultimately you need to follow your intuition and know that your spirit squad is guiding you. It's a matter of allowing yourself to step forward, follow your intuition, know that fate is aligned with you right now when it comes to the decisions that you make. Some of you may have like these fears due to family related issues, though. Some of you may feel like you have to take care of your family financially. Some of you may be dealing with family issues. There may be children here as well. intuition being triggered. There may be some lying and cheating going on. There may be some stealing going on. Somebody in your family may be trying to steal from you or maybe stealing from you. There may be somebody in your family who expects you to take care of them. For others of you, financially, you may be all over the place. But Spirit wants you to know that you need to tap into your intuition. You need to allow your intuition to be what's guiding you forward. And stop lying to yourself. For real. Like, you're sitting here in a state of waiting because you may have fears concerning what you can actually achieve and what you're, what you're supposed to be doing. For some of you, you may be asked to step into a more, something that you've never done before. A role that you've never, had before. And you may not necessarily be ready to embrace that. Like, you may still be in a state of fear. But Spirit's asking you to step into that. Allow yourself to embrace it. Some of you need to make a decision when it comes to a relationship in your life. It may be family, friends, it may be work related. But there's a cycle that needs to be broken. Somebody's going to get left out in the cold. It may be you and maybe somebody else. But the tower is coming down on somebody. That might be stressing you out a little bit. Some of you may be looking into the past, holding on to the past. Some of you may be holding on to somebody who is cruel. You may be holding on to somebody who's not necessarily emotionally available or emotionally kind to you. For some of you, you may be holding on to the past, and that's what's been stressing you out lately. For others of you, it's time for you to boss up. And you're going to become enlightened to that. It's time for you to start a new journey. It's time for you to allow yourself to rebalance. Be patient with the process. There's work that needs to be done going forward. Some of you are going to have to allow yourself to move away from people, places, and things that are no longer in alignment. For some of you, this person may be petty. For some of you, this person may necessarily be emotionally manipulative in some ways. For some of you, this could be a friend. This could be a family member even. You've been up in your head about allowing yourself to let this person go, but at the same time, this person breaks your heart. This is not a nice person. Some of you need to allow yourself to start a new cycle, because you're going to be starting a new cycle, especially when it comes to money. You may be starting a new project, and you need to allow yourself to let go of the people who are no longer in alignment with you as you step into this new energy. For some of you, you need to tap into your intuition. Allow yourself to deal with yourself emotionally as well. Some of you may feel like you're not necessarily grounded. There may be too much emotionally going on. But at the same time, it's a matter of acknowledging the past, allowing yourself to actually feel your feelings, allowing yourself to acknowledge the past, because there is past energies coming up. And for some of you, this feels emotionally like a burden. But at the same time, There are new things coming in, and there are new opportunities being presented to you. There will be things for you to celebrate. It's just a matter of you allowing yourself to rebalance yourself and allowing yourself to like let go of the past. Like do something. Like you have to actively do something. You have to allow yourself to close out these cycles with people, places, and things that are no longer in alignment with you. Some of you have been wishing and or indulging in your lower resonating emotions. Some of you have been like drowning in your emotions. Some of you asked for emotional evolution. Some of you actively did something where you were trying to heal, you're trying to emotionally evolve, but at the same time, like, while you may have wished for emotional evolution at the same time, like, oh, it's getting deep. You are rolling in the deep when it comes to your emotions. Some of you may feel very emotionally defensive. There's a lot of things that are up in the air right now, and there's a lot of defensiveness going on. There may be other people that are like reflecting you and reflecting your own inner child trauma back onto you. For some of you, this may even be family that you're dealing with. Like there's a lot of combative energy right here. But at the same time, like I feel as though like the combative energy and like the people that are you're battling with in a lot of ways, like these people being brought forth are mirrors for you. They're mirrors for you to trigger you so you can like acknowledge your inner child trauma and you can actually like get yourself into a state where you're becoming emotionally balanced. For some of you, you have a relationship with someone who may be manipulative, and it's time for you to move away from that energy. For some of you, you may have been holding on to this energy and not allowing yourself to like move on, not allowing yourself to advocate. Open your freaking throat chakra. Say something. Do not allow yourself to be a doormat. Have boundaries. Learn how to say no. Some of you are going to be tapping into your internal energy, tapping into your baby high priestess energy, tapping into your divine feminine energies, allowing yourself to go ghost mode. As you focus on yourself, as you turn yourself inwards, you're going to get more focused on what it is that you need to be doing. Some of you are going to be really assessing yourself right now. And a lot of you're going to come to the realization that a lot of the things that have happened recently in your life has all happened. Like everything has happened for a reason. Everything has happened for a reason. And things have been some serious, profound lessons where you're really learning about yourself. You're really learning how to get focused. You're learning how to work on things. You're learning how to logically work on your emotions, work on your problems. You're becoming a better problem solver. And the truth is, because you're becoming a better problem solver, you're also becoming more stable within yourself. There's a lot of energy where you're becoming more, tapping more into your creativity, your stable energy. Like you're able to create for yourself now because of the ways in which you've handled things. Yes. And we are wrapped. We are done. That was fire signs. Well, everybody, it has been real. Hey, we made it to 100 and damn near 20 minutes. That is 2 hours. That is long enough. Long enough. Hey, it was a great tarot tea. For real, for real. It was dope. This upload is going to be long as hell. Oh. If you're watching on the playback, please like and subscribe. Follow your girl on IG. Check out my website, elibotanica.com, for hella information in the blog section. The blog section is popping. It is a source of free knowledge. There is a lot that you can learn there, so check that out. You guys are welcome. Thank you guys for coming out. We'll be back on IG soon enough. Soon enough, but this is also cool. This is also cool. We'll see how this YouTube does and ish. We'll see how it is, but y'all know I'll be on IG hard body. All right, I love you guys. Sending you guys love. You're welcome. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. I'll see you guys on the next one.